we're going to add a couple more people to the team. I'm pretty excited about it. You know, we need to obviously vote them in, but now that we're all legit and stuff, we have to like do things the way we said we're going to do them. So
by the book.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I think those two people are going to be awesome, and I think they're going to do their job. But yeah, I mean, to get out to fairs and to get out in the community,
festivals,
and, you know, just even events. You know, if there's something that Kirsten's Ride, or you know, we need to start hooking up with more charities and other foundations, and to support them, and you know, get the message out there that they're doing good stuff. I mean, it doesn't have to be just about recovery. You know, we can do other things, and you know, there's so many different avenues and stuff going on with recovery that, you know, you can pretty much tie everything to it. So, yeah, that's something that we need to do more of. And you know, I apologize that we haven't done more of, and I guess I really don't need to because it's the COVID thing. But I don't know. I don't want to use that as an excuse anymore. I just want to move forward and, you know, start doing the things that we should be doing now that we have more of a crew, sort of. And, yeah, you know, kind of do the stuff we said we're going to be doing.
Yeah. I mean, it is an excuse. It's not an excuse per se, but it's a huge roadblock. That's what I mean. That's the bottom line. And it's just, it makes everything that we have thinking about lining up to do extremely difficult to plan. So, but they'll still happen. We just need to think positive.
So, no, Riverwood in Benton Harbor had that. It was a recovery picnic. And I think it was like their 3rd or 4th annual. Last year we went down there, we spoke. But that is in September. So I think it's going to be a busy month. You got football, got UFAM.
And then we wanted to do, like was it early fall or late summer, like a luncheon with a keynote speaker.
Yeah.
We were trying to get that lined up either in Charlevoix, right?
Yep.
Charlevoix or here in Traverse, but probably Charlevoix first.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where we're going to start the transportation. And no matter what part of Michigan you're in 4 years, I think we can have the whole state covered. I think it's just going to take off. I really do. And yeah. Yeah. So don't worry if you're hearing us talking like, but we're not in northern Michigan. We're in Missouri, you know, or we're in California. Well, you know, listen to what we're doing. And if you need any help, or maybe you got some suggestions.
Heck yeah.
As Tyrone would say.
Man.
My email is Corey, Corey, at 217recovery.com. So, I mean, shoot me some suggestions if you got them. Hey, this will work, or try this, or maybe someone's already doing it that I'm not aware of. You know, like if you have any pointers for us, definitely, you know, hit me up for sure. Marney at 217recovery.com as well. And we appreciate that for sure. But yeah, so just hang tight. We'll get around to the area. You know, where I grew up in Southwest Michigan, you know, I want to definitely get down there, and maybe sober living houses. You forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different things. That
I know. They're swimming. The whole idea, every idea that we have. I mean, we start working on it and then get sidetracked with the next idea. So, but it's a good thing. It's good to have that problem.
Yeah, and we haven't really been sidetracked with the transportation yet. I mean, that's our number one. You know, but we always have ideas, and when something comes up, and we realize that there's something that can be done to help people out in recovery, we want to be there for them. We're like, okay, well, we'll put that on our list. And you know, they need to get clothed. You know, they walk into treatment, and sometimes they just have a shirt and some shorts and maybe one pair of underwear. You know, and that's all they got.
And they give them that crappy toothpaste, and you know.
I mean, it's toothpaste. It's better than nothing, but just get them feeling good. You know, get them looking good, and they'll be feeling good, and you know that changes everything. You know, just a haircut. You know how good you feel when you get your haircut? Everybody knows that feeling. You're looking good. You know, everything's tightened up. Of course, I don't really have hair, but I know that feeling. Even when I shave my head, it's like, yeah. You looking good, feeling good. And it's the same thing, you get your hair cut, you put on a new shirt, new slacks, you got some nice socks. I mean,
new beginning.
Yeah, you're feeling good. And then you can start working, forward on, okay, well, what's next? Now I can feel comfortable to sit here in treatment without people, thinking people are staring at me, without wondering if I smell. But now that I have antiperspirant, I got this down, and everything's good. I don't have to worry about what people are doing and what they're saying about me, or if I am stinking, or stuff like that. So that's another need. And like Marney said, it's easy to get sidetracked because there's so many different ways we can help, and we want to get the traffic. We want to get the transportation down first. And, I did something like that, like I said, downstate, and know a little bit about what I'm doing, but it's a learning process for us. And, I think we in fact won't be able to reach every single person, the first day or the first month or the first week, but, having people still call in and want and to give their name, we can start a database. We can get a list, and we're not selling it to nobody. Don't worry about that. But just to look at and to turn over, to some of these other organizations, and we're like, look, we helped, 800 people this month, but we could have helped 2,000, 5,000, if we just would have had 2 more vehicles or whatever, it'll just something like that, just to show them, and that way they know that we're not just throwing out numbers. It's like, look, how many sober living houses do you have in Charlevoix County? You got about 4. Mm-hmm. And in each of those houses, how many people and how many have a car? 10% of them. Okay, so that's...
I don't even know if 10%'s... That might be reaching even.
For the men's, that's what it is. And then the women, I think it's... Well, there was only one women's house in Charlevoix County. Mm-hmm. And there's only 20% of them that have a car. But, the men, there's 16, 12, supposed to be...
And, the
12,
thing is that
18.
One thing to bring up is that those are the people with the most need for transportation to places that they're supposed to be at.
Right.
I mean, not so much these days, but, I mean, my mom even brought that up. It was like, aren't these people supposed to go and, like, test, with these places at certain times? And aren't these people supposed to go to X amount of meetings per week and required to meet with, their counselor this many times per month, and all of these requirements for them to successfully complete whatever, probationary program or whatever that they're on, or needs for their sober living house. They're required to do that as part of their program. And if the reason they're failing that is because they can't get there, I mean, that's where we want to help. And that's why what Recovery Rise is going to alleviate is that lack of, that resistance to, being able to actually complete something because of something that you have no control over.
We want to shed the whole grandpa's logic of, you got yourself into this mess, you can get yourself out of it. You need to get to a meeting, boy, you better walk.
Yeah, that. I've heard that before. You need to find a way to get there. It's like you're talking about Michigan here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're talking about feet of, wintertime more than anything is because I hated getting around in the wintertime when I didn't have a license. It was just, oh gosh, I don't.
It's that way of thinking. And here's something that
it's far and it's time consuming and then you're supposed to fit in that with your work, right? And where's your work? And then your meeting and then it was like you didn't even know right from left sometimes, and then you're like, crap, did I make a meeting today? And then, of course, the meetings are only at certain times. Mm-hmm. And so you have to try to find a job that fits the schedule that you can still do X, Y, and Z. And it's a lot of juggling. And the people that are in that program or working with that program know what I'm talking about or have done it, props to you. And props to everybody that's doing it now. You know what I mean? It's just, I remember those days, and I wish that I would have had recovery rides to call on back then for sure. So,
and the people in the house those people in these sober living houses, doctors, dentists, therapists, pain management specialists. I mean, they need to go to those things. And like you said, the rides would help them go there, but also to, testing, to lawyers, to, the other stuff that they need to go to. And this is something that'll get your grandpa fired up about it, because these people are being funded usually, sometimes with grants, but sometimes, it's Medicaid. So do you want to help this person get right and do the right things to help these people? Or do you want to have them keep going back to treatment? Like I did, do you want them to keep going in 15 times, using that Medicaid money? Because that's what's happening. And if they're not, they can go to treatment, they can hear all the right things, say all the right things, then they get out and they think, okay, I'm going to go to sober living. Then they get there and then they start making excuses, and, maybe the sober living house isn't right for them. I don't know. But if they can't even go to the doctor and they're getting frustrated because they have a toothache and they can't get in to see the dentist because they don't have a ride. When the dentist says, well, I can get you in for 3 months from now, and, we can call you, and if we have a cancellation, okay, and then they call, I don't have a ride. Well, okay. And, when I say 10% of the people in those houses have cars, I'm not saying those 10% of people are going to take the other people in those houses to, that's very unlikely. Because they're out working, they're using their cars for their daily stuff. I'm just saying that they probably don't need a ride. But yeah, just because 10% or 20% of recovery houses have cars, no, that just means that's one less person that needs a ride. But there's still 40, 50 eyes out there just in those recovery homes that need rides. So it's a program that definitely. And that's why, one of the reasons why the foundation there in Gaylord, I don't know, I guess I could say their name, but I really don't want to. They've been good to us. NMRE, they worked with us a little bit. And when I pitched them the idea of the ride, they were just like, oh my God, we need that so bad. And especially up here in northern Michigan, everything's rural, and people are over here, and they just need rides. And they wouldn't have supported us if they didn't think it could happen, or wasn't gonna help people in the community immediately. So
yeah, I haven't heard one person that we've talked to about it or asked to support it say anything, but that's totally a need, and I think that's a great idea. So I know we're doing something. I know we're onto something.
Yeah, and I think that once we get up and going, like actually have staff, when we start getting the funding and the support to do this stuff, I think that, women should drive the women passengers to the meetings. It doesn't have to be to a woman's meeting, but I just think that it takes away just a bunch of stuff. And then, of course, like I said, the driver is going to be certified recovery coaches, so they will have gone through all the training. They'll know the boundaries that you can't cross, and the ethics and all that. But I think it would just make the women feel more comfortable. It just takes away from that whole, hey, they're in early recovery and the emotions are flying all over, and oh, here's this cute boy driving them, or vice versa. The guys get in the car, wow, who's this hottie driving us to this meeting? Like, hey, girl. It really does take the focus off of what's really important. And that's why they say in early recovery, stay away from relationships. But it's because, well, it's pretty obvious why. But yeah, you got to learn on your own though. But I don't want to be responsible for, oh, well, your driver did this and driver did that. So when people have asked me about that, like, what are you going to do about that? That's why I kind of want to address that right now too, because and when we start up, it'll be people high up in our organization that'll be driving, so that won't be a problem at all. And maybe we'll just schedule, maybe we'll have, hey, we're taking guys tonight, we're taking women tomorrow. That seems fair to me as well. So maybe we'll start off like that. That way our promotions chick can get out there and start driving too.
Yeah.